Yo, yo, Las Vegas in full effect.
This try to slide down Las Vegas Boulevard too. This try to slide down Las Vegas Boulevard too. Meet me on 15th and Fremont at the market. Fish with the shrimp and the fries, can't find no parking. City of the bright lights is different after dark here. Take you to Container Park, maybe we could start there. Love for a city, I could swear I found my heart in. Raised in the desert, so the park was like the beach. Lorenzi on Sunday, grandma barbecued on weekends. Shopping in the rancho was just a swap meet kid. I feel Vegas.
Yo, if you feel Vegas, say what's up, everybody. If you feel Vegas, I'm in the house today, and we got a special guest for you. My man in the building from Nehemiah Ministries, Kelsey West. I'm gonna bring him on. He's gonna tell y'all a little bit about what he was doing in Las Vegas before he became a pastor. And for the ones that don't know who he is, you're gonna get a chance to find out who he is today and how powerful he is and some of the things that he has helped several kids throughout the valley of Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm gonna bring in my man Kelsey West. Kelsey, what's up, bro?
What's happening, my friend? It's an honor to be with you this evening, brother. I'm ready to sit back and chop it up with you and have a great dialogue.
Man, that's gonna be perfect. I you know, I'm a born native here. You moved here in I believe '87. When you first got here, what was Vegas like when you got here?
Now, watch this. We're just gonna put 2 years on that. I moved here August 18th, 1989. The Mirage was the latest and greatest. I came here to go to UNLV, and Vegas at that time it was a lot smaller. I loved it. I missed that Las Vegas. I missed the Vegas from '89 to '96. I missed that Vegas.
That Vegas was real. You had a
Hmm.
lot of things that going on. I mean, Las Vegas at that time was a lot of criminal activity going on. And I know me and a lot of other people were like involved in a lot of different criminal activity. How did you escape Las Vegas? Crucial
Well,
steps.
I'll say this, that the hand of God has always been upon my life because it's not like I have not been around criminal activity. It's just been by the grace of God. Um, Moving to Las Vegas, I worked in retail. And so I met a lot of people in retail. And before I knew it, the Metals Mall was the Carter for me. And so let me say it that way. We made the Metals Mall the Carter. And so I, I can't really say anything other than the hand of God. When I moved here, I was 18. I was out of church for 7 years, and so in those 7 years, whether it was I was supposed to be at UNLV, but I spent the majority of my time at the clubs. I love to dance, and so being in the clubs, you got to have nice clothes, and so I wasn't making money, but I knew how to get clothes.
Five finger discount.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Yes.
as a youth growing up right out of high school, and you want to be fly, and you said you was a dancer. Did you dance with a group or was you solo?
Solo. So watch this. I moved here August 18th, 1989. August 25th, that following Saturday, the late Leroy Caldwell lets me into Uptown. I go in Uptown, I dance solo that night, I take second place. I'm sick. I can't even function in school. All I'm thinking about is getting back to Uptown to take first place. And I was able to take first place. And what's crazy is my first night in the club, I'm 18. I'm sitting next to Mike Tyson, and my life was just never the same. I fell in love with the clubs. The clubs was my drug, and I overdosed several times.
That's easy to do. So let me
Hmm.
ask you a question. Do you remember the uh, the guy who won first place the time you won second?
Yeah, the first night I lost to um, man, names just slipped me.
Was he a
Leroy.
tall?
I lost to Leroy. Leroy was short, and then it was
Okay.
a taller gentleman he danced with. real slender guy, but they were slick together. And so that night also another now pastor, Lee Washington, he danced and his music was mixed. So I stole some things from him and I went back and practiced because I had to really put a routine together. But I lost that first, and I cannot remember the name of the other guy, but I lost to a tandem.
You know, one year doing Uptown
Curtis.
Days. Curtis. I remember
Curtis.
Curtis and the other guy used to dance with him. Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
I
Curtis
lost to
was
Curtis.
sharp.
Curtis was sharp, man.
Curtis
Curtis could slide across the floor. And so that's who I lost to the first night.
Okay, so check this out. There was one year at Uptown. My cousin
Mm-hmm.
came down there from Oakland, California. He was too young to get in the club. He like about 6'2", 6'3", and he couldn't get in the clubs. So I got a partner named Kayo. Kayo
Uh-huh.
took him to the club, took him to Uptown. It had to
Uh-huh.
be like in 90, 91, somewhere like that.
Okay.
And he used my friend Lee's ID. Now Lee was short and my cousin was tall, but they kind of had the same complexion, and they wasn't checking
Uh-huh.
IDs really like that. No way.
No.
So my cousin heard on the radio that you win $100 if you win a dance contest. He
That's
went
right.
up there, he won the contest, come back with the $100, and he was like, "You knew I was gonna win that." His name is Corey Action. He used to dance overseas and all of that stuff. He still dances today, had a dance studio, but he went to Uptown and won that money.
It's a good chance that we were in the clubs together because I was at Uptown, the Shark Club, Tramps, LJ's, wherever the music was. That's where I was at. I love to dance.
So, how long did you carry on your dancing career, and what are all of some of the players that was out there that was dancing, like some of the names you
Uh,
remember
you know
that
what?
was big time?
Big time. I can't. Those two. It was just always new people. Because Vegas is so transient, and so outside of Uptown, when I'm dancing in the other clubs, you would have your mixed crowds. So I really didn't know names like that. I will say, I remember on a couple of occasions dancing. Michael Jackson's father, Joe, was a judge one night. Lionel Richie was a judge one night. And so it was crazy I'm 18, 19. My dancing, that was 18, 24. I stopped. 24, I'm starting to slow down on the dancing side. But in 26 is when I fully retired from the clubs. But I wish I could name the cats who all I used to dance against.
You know, next month I'm gonna have one of the guys on that was one of the best dancers, not the best dancer, but one of the best dancers, by the name of Andre Eagles, and it's crazy. He's a pastor too.
Wow. Now, guess what? Guess what? Now, see, you just made me think of a name. It was a brother named Vernon.
I remember
Vernon,
Vernon.
Vernon, Vernon could dance.
Vernon was
Yeah,
bad.
Vernon. Yeah, that was one where I was like, okay, if Vernon dancing tonight. Whenever he was dancing, you knew you had to bring your A game. But that's a name that just popped in my head. I hadn't thought about Vernon in a minute.
You know, I was one of those guys that hang out on the wall at the club because I didn't know how to dance. I played sports,
Hmm.
so I just didn't have the rhythm to dance. But I wish I could dance because people that dance was getting all the girls.
That's really what started me to dancing as a youngster. I had alopecia and I had eczema really bad. And then when New Edition came out, I learned their moves. And then once I realized girls like dancers, man, the rest was history. And so that also kept me out of trouble because I didn't have to be an athlete to get the girls in my neighborhood in Pontiac. I wasn't one of the dope boys. And so dancing was my connection, my way to the girls.
So all along, the whole time you were out there dancing and doing your thing, was there any time that somebody came up to you and asked you for your autograph?
No, no, not necessarily autographs, but
What was the reaction like after you danced?
on the reaction, it was always favorable. It's always love. Let me say that. My favorite hood movie is Paid in Full. And so when I moved to Vegas, I felt like Mitch. I felt like money making Mitch without making the money. It was a just love everywhere. And that's what also made me fall in love with the city. I was just really getting love. And to not be from here, I mean, I could bounce around to different high schools, and it was just a great time to be in Vegas.
So what has changed now? You said something about, you know, those were good years back then. What has changed
Hmm.
so much today that was different from back then?
You didn't. People wasn't on their paparazzi. People wasn't on their phones like that. It was real fellowship, real interaction. The club scene, you didn't have the tables and the bottle service. So whatever club we were in, if a celebrity was in the house, if they were gonna have a table, it's because we gave them our table. But people just weren't reserving tables and being roped off. Everybody was together. I once shared with somebody, and I meant no disrespect. The Super Bowl bored me in comparison to the Tyson fights.
Hmm.
I missed the Tyson fights at the MGM. I remember being down there, that run with Death Row in the 662. I remember being in 662, inside and outside trying to get in during the Tupac runs. And so just it was just a fun time to see Vegas like that, where everybody was just here out in the open. And I'm a
Yeah,
huge boxing fan, so I used to
yeah.
stay at the fights.
Man, them fights was great. The fights were great.
Hmm.
I think like when Suge Knight came in with all of the chaos, you know, Suge, before Suge even got with Death Row, Suge
Hmm.
was a bouncer. He was a bodyguard at Mr. G's, and he
Hmm.
wound up bodyguarding for a partner of mine, one of the D boys. And I'm gonna have that guy on here. And
Yeah.
actually, Suge back then was full of evil stuff because he shot my
Hmm.
homeboy twice.
Okay. Okay.
Shot him in the arm and the leg here in Vegas, and went back to LA.
Yes,
So
sir.
when the music was all good and the parties and all that, when Suge came in, what he came in with, it cut out the fights, the major clubs, the big time players
Yeah.
coming to the city. Yeah,
Yeah. It changed. It changed. It changed. I miss when the fights were at Caesars. I had a great time at the MGM, but I miss going to Caesars because it was only one way in to get to the fights, so you meeting everybody. But great times, great times.
you know, the last fight that I went to at Caesar's Palace was the Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock.
That was a great fight. The last fight I went to there was the Fan Man fight.
Oh
And
yeah,
that particular fight, I told my boys, I said, get dressed, we going in the fight. They said we don't have tickets. I said, don't worry about it. I just got a feeling somebody gonna let us in the fight. So we're standing outside the entrance, and I look up and I see Eddie Murphy, Johnny Gill, Eddie Murphy's wife, and his uncle Ray. They walk into the fight. It couldn't have been. It felt like 5 minutes. Eddie Murphy comes back out. He hot as fish grease. He rushed past us. I look at his uncle. His uncle had 4 tickets in his hand. I said, "Can we have your tickets?" He put the tickets in my hand, and we went in and enjoyed the fight. Eddie Murphy he wasn't ringside, and he was upset because he wasn't ringside, and that's how I got his tickets.
man, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
That is a blessing. So let me ask you this: if you hadn't got the tickets, would you have just ran in there?
No, watch this. That wasn't my style. I always trusted I was gonna. I always believed I knew somebody. That has always been how I've maneuvered. As a kid, people knew my mom, knew my grandmother. That helped me navigate through Pontiac. I could go on all the sides. Las Vegas, I met people so fast, and then working in the mall, I'm helping some of everybody because I worked at 9 West shoe store for the ladies. I
Right.
worked at Zouder and Zouder with the suits. So, and I had both of those jobs sometimes at the same time. So I'm meeting some of everybody.
Man, that had to be something because I know everybody came to the
Mm.
mall. Any event,
Everybody.
any
Hmm.
event, you got tons of people going to the mall. So I know you've seen a lot of uh, gangsters chasing other gangsters throughout the mall during that time too, because there was a lot of that going on.
Yes, sir.
Get caught at the
Yes,
mall.
sir. And so that's right. That's right. And so a lot of people I met at the mall, fast forward, I used to work at the air at McCarran Airport. And so then a lot of, especially the gangsters, they remembered me, I remembered them. And so when I'm at McCarran, I couldn't believe how many people I really knew and how many people knew me. Because back then it was so much easier to help people fly in first class than it'll ever be again. I miss those days.
Them days was real good. You could
Hmm.
fly without getting checked. No dogs. None of that crazy. All of that stuff
None of
was
that.
good.
None of that. None of that. I was at McCarran Airport because back in the day, the two jobs cats wanted, cats was either trying to park cars or work the baggage curb at the airport because I didn't know how much those guys were making. But it was a fun time, man, at the airport. I can't tell you now. Now you asked me who I met in the clubs. I don't remember, but at the airport, the only great one I didn't meet was Jordan, but the only cat who ever starstruck me was Muhammad Ali.
Man, getting a chance to meet Muhammad Ali, that's great. That's the people's champ. When
Hmm.
people say the people's champ, everybody don't understand that. Can you tell them what the
Yeah.
people's champ is?
Listen, man, to meet Muhammad Ali, to see him years after the boxing career was over, but to see him still being cordial and congenial, patient with people. I mean, signing autographs to the point where his people are saying that's enough, but he's saying no, it's still people wanting to meet me. He was so nice. I didn't even want the autograph. I was just good just staring at him. And I'm going, man, I have the greatest right in front of me. He's the only person to really just starstruck me where I just stood and stared at him.
That's a real dude right there.
But he was
Rest in
but he
peace.
was so
Great.
nice, so nice. Rest in peace. He was just so nice and friendly, and it's a lot of people, But he's number one. He's the Mount Rushmore for me. But I met a lot of people, brother, because I'm there for both Biggie and Tupac's passing. So I helped a lot of rappers, a lot of singers get home.
Let's hear
Hmm.
about some of it. Just let me hear about it. Let me tell us the scene and what it looked like.
Listen, Ed Lover from MTV Raps. After Tupac was shot, you had the rumors. Did it really happen? Is Tupac really dying? Ed Lover came to the ticket counter and I'm helping him change his ticket so he could stay longer. He had tears in his eyes. And he was the first one to tell me it's serious, serious. I don't think Tupac is going to make it. And Tupac and we were the same age. I was down with Tupacalypse. And so not just Pac, not just Tupac, but I was a fan of his from day one, Digital Underground. And so there were just so many rappers, so many entertainers wanting to stay, wanting to pray. And everybody was so emotional. That's what I remember most, just how emotional people were um, just at the thought of him passing. And so I remember the day he passed. That was possibly one of the last tickets I got for Metro. I was driving on Bonanza, and when the news came that he passed, I wasn't paying attention how fast I was going. The police officer pulled me over. I just said, "Man, write the ticket." Pac just passed, but it was just a real emotional time at the airport.
Yeah, I could believe it. You know, the night that Pac got killed, we was at the fight, and because we're from Vegas, when we seen
Uh
all
huh.
of the yellow tape and all of the sirens and all of that, we went down Cobalt like by
Uh-huh.
where the Alexis Park was.
That's right.
And then we came down Paradise, and we wound up making our way, uh, to Flamingo to get to the club.
Uh-huh.
When we got to
Uh-huh.
the club, there was maybe about 8 guys in the parking lot from LA. And the only thing they
Mm-hmm.
said was, man, even though Pac had got shot and nobody knew he was dead, they said, man, they just killed Pac.
Yeah.
So we was
Yeah.
like, dang, we just passed by that area. That's,
That's
we
right.
like, that's what that was? So,
I missed
man,
that. I was on the opposite side. So where you were, I'm already closer to 662. So
okay,
I
you
didn't
was on the
even know
Flamingo
that
side already.
I'm already there. Now I'm inside during the craziness. Now when Pac is racing through the casino, I'm in the casino at that time. As a matter of fact, I'm near Allen Iverson and his friends. I remember we weren't that far from Leon, who played David Ruffin in the Temptations, but we're in there during all of that craziness. But I didn't find out till about 3, 4 in the morning that it was Tupac that got shot. I knew somebody had got shot, but I didn't know right away it was Pac.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
but
was
we
one
were
of them
we were
nights
we
that
were
is
making our way. One of those nights, because I
never be
was
forgotten.
at. So watch this. So that was the Tyson Bruce Seldon fight.
Absolutely.
I had worked that fight because I was working at the MGM also. So I used to help put the arenas together, and that was my second fight working for Don King. Now I've been in the presence. I've shaken hands with President Barack Obama 3 times. I've been in the presence of people. Don King working for him, that's a powerful cat.
Absolutely.
That's a powerful cat. When he because he would tell all the cable, you tell the world to turn on when I give you the signal. I said, okay, okay, okay.
That's
This
powerful.
this is a different type of power. Yeah.
Yeah, that Mike Tyson, the night that he fought Bruce Seldom, the day before that, we seen Bruce Seldom in the hotel because we would go out there all the time, and we was trying to get him to play our song before he come out.
Uh-huh.
So we pressing him and we pressing him as we walking through the casino. We putting the press down. And he said, "Well, just give me the." We had a cassette tape at the time.
Yeah.
He says,
That's
"Give me the
right.
tape."
That's right.
He said, "Give me the tape and we'll listen to it and we'll see if we could do it." They didn't do it, but just for him accepting it, we already knew what was going to happen in the fight. Tyson had
That's
been
right.
running through cats like,
That's right. That's right.
but we was trying to get heard.
That's right.
So yeah,
I
what's one
miss
of your
those
most
days.
you miss
Come
those
on.
days? What's some of your most memorable moments from those good days that really stood out that had an impact in the world?
Impact in the world. I'm at UNLV when the OJ verdict is announced. I'll
What?
never forget. I'll never forget that campus, the divide, black people going crazy and white people crying. I'll never forget that moment.
Wow.
Um, um,
Give us a picture of that.
man, it was like the lights just clicked on and off. It just changed everything. Before that, it was all about rebels. It was all about the basketball team. But in that moment, that campus divided. It really
Wow.
did. That was huge. I got to sit pretty close to Minister Farrakhan. I was a part of the Black Student Union at UNLV, and we went to see Minister Farrakhan at Cashman, and that was an interesting moment for me. I had a roommate. He was a Muslim at that time. I was headed to the mosque prior to that event. Minister Farrakhan comes out and he preaches not from the Quran, he preaches from the King James Bible. And that Bible illuminated, and it was the Bible talking to me saying, "Stay where you are." And I didn't leave Christianity while he was preaching, but I was headed to the mosque.
Wow, that's interesting.
Hmm.
I've been through church, mosque, and different places like that. I'm officially now Muslim,
Yes,
and I've
sir.
been since like '93. And I mean, each people choose a
Shalom.
religion it's their own choice. But the
That's right.
thing is, are you doing the work? And
That's right.
just to jump into gears, you are a pastor today.
Yes,
And
sir.
I talked to you some years back, and you were telling me about the kids that you have that you do events for them, and
Hmm.
I think they're up in. You guys go up to California or something like that. Black Bear Mountain, is that where? I mean, Black Mountain, a bear. Where do you go?
Now watch this. That when we talked, that was a camping trip. When we were taking them to Duck Creek, Utah.
Okay.
So that's our camping trip. My annual trip that I've been doing for 30 years, we take kids to visit black colleges. So for the last 30 years, I've hosted that tour, and we've been blessed to work
Wait, hold
with.
up, hold up, hold on, hold on.
Um,
Let me stop you 1 second.
Come on.
Say that one more
Hmm.
time. You take kids on.
Black college tours, yes, sir. Yeah, we've been doing that.
If y'all don't understand that, just listen to what he's finna tell you. I got to understand it.
Yeah,
He's taking kids, not one,
yeah.
not two, but
No, we
several.
take up to 156 kids every year to visit black colleges on a week-long trip. And so we've been blessed to now work with a little over 3,200 kids. And so now we have children of people who went on our tour go, and it's just blowing my mind, brother. Serious, to see the journey, move to Las Vegas, but I didn't know the big picture why I'm here. And so, you look at the tour, I had a young Alex Dixon. We had Lance Gross, Donnell Thomas, who's now with Metro. Man, just so many kids who have gone on to graduate from HBCUs who are now leaders in the community, and to be able to sit back and know you had a small hand in that. I'm good with life. I'm good with the hand that's been dealt to me.
It's always good when you give back. You know,
Yes, sir.
it's not like you just can give somebody $1 million and say, "Hey, look, man, go and do your thing," but to give back and to show them a direction, put them in a place. When we were young, we didn't have any of that. You know,
Yeah.
it was crazy. So for kids to get that, is there something special that the kid have to do, or they have to be involved in something? How does the
No,
kid get
no, it's
involved?
not. Yeah, it's not based on religion. It's not based, you just need a minimum 2.0 GPA. Their parents sign them up. Their parents have skin in the game. Yes, they're a lot of the kids, their parents pay for their trip, but we raise money, we get donations, sponsorships, and that help us offer scholarships. Now, because of where I'm from, I'm looking for the kid that's hungry. So he may not have the best grades, but I see hunger in his eyes or her eyes. And so let us invest in you. And so it's been a beautiful thing where you're taking a chance. You don't know if a child is going to make good on your investment, but when you pick the right kid, it's nothing like it. And so, over these 30 years, I've had kids go to school, graduate, invite me to their wedding, let me know when they're having children. Some come back, be a part of the church. It's just a great feeling.
I do know that feeling. I do know that feeling to have kids that you taught, that you gave
Yeah.
energy to, that you took the time out of your wife's, your kids, and everything
Yeah.
else to put
Yeah.
into another individual, and for them to respect you today. That's what it's all about. For
Yeah.
them to
Yeah.
be on the level that you expected them to be on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great reward. I tell people I don't. I may or may not ever get the quote unquote bag, but I'm rich. And I'm rich because of the love that I've received. I'm rich because of the opportunities that's been afforded to me. Man, brother Elliot, I'm from a small city in Michigan. I'm from Pontiac, not Detroit, not Southfield. I'm from Pontiac, two high schools, 20-mile radius. And I don't say this stuff to be braggadocious. You know, I've left the continent. I've been to Africa a few times, preached and taught there. I talk to Africa every day. Every day I'm talking to somebody in Africa. I don't take that stuff for granted, man. To my phone rings sometimes. It's the white, it's people in DC, it's people here in high places, and so the Bible says, it's better to have a good name than riches. And brother, I believe that there are days where I go, God, thank you for allowing me to still have a name that people respect, despite the stupid stuff I did when I was young, despite the dirt and the wrong. I thank God for His grace today.
Well, one of the things about being young, you got another shot.
That's
Being
right.
young is just like every kid is going to go through a small little challenge in life, and it's very few that slip out that really make it. It's
That's right.
very, but if you get underneath the program or get with a team,
Yeah.
it's easy to grow.
Yeah, that's why I love what you do, and I promise you, when my schedule, I'm not even gonna say when my schedule opens up, I have to make time. I applaud you for being a chess master and teaching people how to play chess. I think we one of the weaknesses for our young people, they don't understand the game. We say it as a cliche, I'm playing chess, I'm not playing checkers, and then you talk to that person and they really don't know how to play chess. And so it's like, man, stop using that cliche, because we have to teach our young people how that game relates to life. And so I respect your mind. I respect your vision, your understanding of that game, brother. I can't wait for you to sit me down and explain it to me. I've played, I know how the pieces move, but I can't wait for you to teach me strategy so I can then apply that to what I do in the church and the community.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now. This week, from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm gonna be available, and next
Mhm.
week I'll be available Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I'm gonna share this with you. I'm gonna take you up on next Thursday through Saturday. This week I'm teaching at Victory Church. They're having an evangelism workshop, and I'm a guest teacher. And I want to be able to sit at your feet and not have to worry about my phone ring, and I don't want to be rushing. I'm excited. This is something that I've been looking forward to. This.
Let's speak about pastors for a minute. Is
Come on.
like you got NBA, you got the
Mm-hmm.
greatest basketball player in any sport. Is there the greatest pastor in the world of pastors? Is there like a pastor that's the greatest, like a Michael Jordan dude, or a Kobe, or a
Um,
LeBron's, or
wow. I'm gonna. That's a tough one. Um, that's a tough one. Let me just share this. A Mount Rushmore for me. A Mount Rushmore for me. When it comes to, you know, that corporate mindset. Bishop Jakes is up there. What he's done corporately, he's up there. Um, on the local level, I honor pastors who have um, who endured. I didn't study pastors like that. Let me give you the answer. Let me give it to you this way. I didn't study pastors that way. And then when I started preaching, I was so loyal to my pastor, I didn't even study the city that way. So there are pastors who were here when I was coming up. I didn't even really study them because I was studying the late Reverend Whitney so much. I was his shadow. I sat at his feet. He's the GOAT to me. Watch this. When I watch American Gangster and Frank Lucas talks about, um, his father in the game, it brings tears to my eyes because that's how I looked at Pastor Whitney. He taught me how to be a pastor, how to be a gentleman, and so he's my goat.
so were you over at Grace Emmanuel?
No, I was at Great Evergreen. So yeah, I was under him for 8 years. I never thought about pastoring. That call came to me actually on a black college tour, but I was just excited to do ministry, to serve. That's really who I am, brother. I love to serve and help people. I was about to say my people, our people, but if the truth be told, I just love to help people, man.
That's a good thing.
Hmm.
Being fair, understanding, and really putting your heart into it.
Yeah.
So, in the church today,
Uh-huh.
compared to what it was in the 80s or the
Uh-huh.
90s, what's the difference?
Lights, camera, and action. You have to now you're in competition with this camera. Years ago, you had a longer people had a longer um, attention span. People weren't as distracted. You didn't have as many things pulling at people. People didn't have access to all of their favorite goats in the country. And so you can be preaching to a church with 1,000 people, and half of those people could be locked into another church while you preaching. That's the world we live in. Vegas was already transient in the 80s. Now you bringing in technology, it's not even just physically transit now, but spiritually, emotionally, through technology, it's extremely transient. So you have to work extra hard to build a team, to maintain a team, because there's so much pulling at people to step out and do something that they may not be called to do.
Wow. In the church today,
Hmm.
they say come as you are. It always been that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
But what's the proper way to come to church?
Watch this. As you are. Now watch this. You just got to know which church you're going into. I've prayed, brother. Hear me when I say this. I've prayed for the people on our door to just hold the door open and let people come in. I trust God. God is going to do what he needs to do in people. I'm not God, so I can't change people. I can only speak what he put in the book, but I can't change you. So if you are coming as you are, my job is to make sure you have a seat. That's how I view ministry. Once you come as you are, I'm trusting. If you need to cover something up, he'll convict you to do that. If you need to sober up, he gonna do that for you. But initially, man, let people come in the door, man, and don't forget who you used to be. I remember when I came back to church, I was Coogee down to the socks. I still had the club sticker on my hand. Just let people come in. Serious. Because
Absolutely.
people get amnesia. They forget. Well, she got a baby. Yeah, but you used to fornicate. Well, he smoking weed. Well, you used to drink. Let's not forget that. And so I just believe when we talk about come as you are, that initial come as you are, man, be as vulnerable and real as you need to be with God, not the people. Come as you are to him.
So after church, do people come and talk to you about things that took place in the church? If it's something they're not happy with or somebody
Yeah.
that they have a problem with, do they come
Yeah.
and talk to you?
Yeah, and so this is what we do. My wife and I, if somebody comes in, and let's say somebody, you came as you were, and so we'll bring people in the office, and I'll share with them. I'm looking for you next week. I can't guarantee everybody's gonna rock with you. I can't, but I'm sharing with you. I'll be looking for you next week, and so I try to keep that in people's minds. Um, don't look for other people to speak for other people. And just because somebody's in the church doesn't mean the church is in them. And so come and find the people who you can rock with. Come and find your community. It's no different. The club helped prepare me for the church. When I would go into the clubs, everybody in the club wasn't feeling me. I knew it was certain sides of the club I didn't need to be on. And so I share with people, find your community. And when you hear your song, dance the way you want to dance. And so that philosophy has helped me in church. I'm not going to apologize. I know what God has done for me. So when I hear a song I like, I'm not asking people if I can dance. I didn't ask people in the world if I could dance. And so I'm going to celebrate the fact, watch this, brother Elliot. I'm 54 and I'm still here. We buried cats, man. We're still here. You never have to ask me to celebrate.
That's real. That's real. When you're still here, you got a chance. You wake up tomorrow, you got another shot. Chances, you take as many chances as possible, but what's in the cards for you is gonna be in the cards for you no matter what.
That's right. That's right. And so
You can't.
that's though the two things that really prepared me for church was the clubs. I'm a people person. And so and that's just me. I don't do a traditional pastoral, this is my chair, let me just sit in my chair. No, I want to shake hands with the people. I'm working the room just like I did in the clubs. I want to know everybody. So if you come to the church, I want to know who you are, where you from. And so that's natural for me. I used to work at a Denny's when I was in high school. That job taught me how to manage a restaurant. So I see church just like that Denny's, man. And you gotta multitask, man. You gotta carry water and coffee. You gotta help the waitresses. You gotta help seat people. You gotta clean up after children. You gotta turn tables real fast, and you gotta do it with a smile. And so that training, it wasn't seminary. Seminary did not prepare me to pastor. Seminary just gave me the degrees that say I know 2 plus 2 is 4, but life taught me how to pastor.
That's real.
Hmm.
They talk about so many pastors, uh, and there's a lot of negative.
Hmm.
But one thing I've never heard is anything negative about you. How did you navigate
Brother,
yourself just by doing the right thing, by not falling into the traps?
grace of God, brother. That's it. Every day, watch this. One day at a time. That's my truth, brother. I'm an ex addict of many things. So let me keep it 100. I'm an ex addict, brother. I'm an ex booster. I'm an ex gambler. I'm an ex drinker. I'm an ex fornicator. I'm an ex of a lot of stuff. And so every day I live in my reality. I don't want to relapse. I don't want to hurt my wife like that. I don't want to hurt my children like that. I don't want to hurt the church like that. So every day I have to remind myself, brother, we can't take that shortcut. I have not forgotten how to throw dice. I haven't forgotten how to play cards. I haven't forgotten how to pick games. I was a mean handicapper, brother. I used to live at the Stardust. I was practicing to be a poker player when I met my wife, and she told me she wouldn't marry me if that's how I was gonna make a living. But I love poker. I love the game. I haven't forgotten how to do that stuff. So every day, this is my truth. I have to tell myself we can't relapse today, and that keeps me out of trouble. I try not to put myself in vulnerable situations. And I'll say this: now the streets taught me that. Growing up in Michigan, I knew it was certain streets I wasn't supposed to be on. It was certain girls I wasn't supposed to talk to. It was certain dudes I was not supposed to walk with or cross. Man, bring that same philosophy to church. I ask men all the time, what hood you from? You didn't see Keisha coming a mile away? Why in the world would you counsel her by yourself? You didn't see that?
Wow,
And so, yeah, come on, man. You got to be smarter than that.
that is something. It's incredible to be able to live in Las Vegas,
Hmm.
be involved in the streets,
Hmm.
take your life to another level, and not be caught with somebody with your hand in the cookie jar, or
Yeah.
even putting your hand in the cookie jar. That's amazing because there's so many people here in Vegas that haven't been true to what they preach, or they haven't been true to their label of what they're doing. But ever since I've
Yeah.
known you, you've been true. Your label has been true. You've been right, and I've always respected you. Before I knew
Mutual
you,
respect. Yeah,
before I knew
mutual.
you, I knew your name, and my
Yes, sir.
mom told me you was a great person.
And I'm honored by that to know that. That means where I have the utmost respect for your family, and I knew of many people before I met them, and so that's mutual love and respect. So
Right.
all that you're doing it's just great to serve alongside you in the city. And so when I look at the youngsters, I want the youngsters to tell people I want to be like them, and I don't take that lightly.
You know, I've coached, I've trained, I've done a lot. 20 years ago, I had a football team that won the championship. I
Hmm.
hadn't seen those kids for 20 years. And when I went and met those kids last month,
Hmm.
one of them broke down in tears. The other one was
Yes.
just so happy. He had all kinds of gifts for me. And they treated me to dinner and uh, golfing, a lot of different
Yeah.
things, man. It was great. It was a and 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 then check this out. These kids were non-black. They were white kids,
That's right. That's right.
you know.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter what color you are. It's what you do in life
That's right.
and how you pick somebody up and how you
That's
can
right.
instill the greatness in them of yourself, and then you can watch it.
That's right. Man, listen. I'm unapologetically black. But when it comes to my story in Vegas, let me give a shout out to a non-black brother. I had an internship that changed my life. I get a call one day from Wendell Williams. He was assemblyman at that time, and Larry Weekly, Dr. Weekly. He wasn't in politics at that time. And they called and asked me if I wanted an internship. I didn't even know what an internship was. It just sounded cool. I said I would take it. And so they told me I needed to go to this office called R&R Partners. And I had, and my internship was there, and that's where I met Billy Faciliatis. I met Sig Rogich. I used to work with Mark Ratner, who was the boxing commissioner.
Absolutely.
I met, yeah, man, I was in that atmosphere. That's what really changed me. That was my first introduction to the corporate world. That was my first introduction to, man, I need to really take school seriously. And they did that for me. When I got married, this is a true story. I get married, and so I'm in between. I'm starting over. I didn't have anything, and I called Sig Rogich's secretary. They had just built New York, New York, and I just called and asked her if he could do something for me. I'm just hoping he can give me a discount on a room so we can spend our honeymoon. She called me back and she said, "Mr. Rogich said when you get there, go see this person." And so we check in, and the lady said, "No, you need to go to that office." That office said VIP. Mr. Sig Rogich treated my wife and I to a VIP suite for my wedding. He didn't know me like that, but I'll never forget that. I saw him during Super Bowl weekend here in Las Vegas. We went to the Super Bowl breakfast. They invited us. We had 20 of our HBCU students with us. And when I saw Sig Rogich, man, it brought tears to my eyes because he was just one of those guys who had a hand in everything I'm doing today. I sat behind Billy Faciliatis one day at a funeral, and I wrote his son a letter, and I said, "Give this to your dad." And so I'm watching him read it in the funeral, and I'm just telling him, "Thank you. You invested in me. And because you invested in me, I've been able to do X, Y, and Z." And so those are two non-black brothers who will forever be godfathers in my book.
Hey, I'm glad y'all locked into the Vague Show. Give me a few minutes. We'll be right back. We're going to let y'all listen to some of the 2K Vegas. And make sure y'all click subscribe, hit like, and share. And if you got any comments or anything, just let us know in the comments, and we'll come back and respond to it.
This I slide down Las Vegas Boulevard too. This I slide down Las Vegas Boulevard too. Meet me on 15th and Fremont at the market. Fish with the shrimp and the fries, can't find no parking. City of the bright lights is different after dark here. Take you to Container Park, maybe we can start there. Love for a city, I could swear I found my heart in. Raised in the desert, so the park was like the beach. Lorenzi on Sunday, grandma barbecued on weekends. Shopping in the Rancho was just a swap meet kid. I feel Vegas when I pass by the Allegiant. Section 8 baby, but we still live decent. When we talk about the 7, they don't even know the meaning. Pissing prostitutes like birds and the bees here. Creeping down Owens, you might see a couple fiends near. It ain't always what it seems here. But you could wake up in a dream here, or you could wake up in your dreams dead. Las Vegas Boulevard, I turn a broke man to rich.
Yo, you know, we sliding down Las Vegas Boulevard. I want to say what's up to my man Vegas Gates. I want to say what's up to Maurice Geis. If y'all still in, checking it out. Make sure y'all go to tomorrow at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. I'm not sure, but he's going to type it in the comments. Go watch the Vegas Gates show. It's a great show. Make sure y'all tune in. And also y'all check out my man Kelsey West in the morning times on his YouTube channel, Kelsey West. We're going to get back into this. And Pastor Kelsey West.
Yes, sir.
Great illustrating in the beginning of the world from Maurice Geis. So yeah, we back again. So listen, this is a great show. What I do is I have guests from Las Vegas. We talk about Las Vegas. We talk about what helped you grow in Las Vegas, and if there's anything that happened in the past that was real powerful that everybody knew about. You know, there was some big name people here, and there was a lot of things that took place. And Kelsey West came here, and he's jumped into a big ship, and that ship is Nehemiah Ministries.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell us how all that came about?
Yes. So I'm serving at Great Evergreen. I'm on a Black college tour, and we were in Atlanta, Georgia. We had just toured Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Dr. King pastored. And brother, that call knocked me off my feet. I had 100+ students with me. I get off my knees and I'm telling the world I have to plant a church called Nehemiah. I hadn't even studied the book like that, but the call came for us to plant the church. Came back, continued to pray, met with my pastor, and he helped us start. And here we are 20 years later. And so the church, our focus is rebuilding broken walls in people's lives. So we welcome people who are broken, people who are damaged, people who need that hope, that encouragement. That's been our niche. And so it's I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
And I want to give a shout out to my barber, my man over there at Close Cuts. Give a shout out to my man Fubi, Eddie Smith Jr. Also, I want to give a shout out to Jerry and Var and DBs, all of them over there. I have to give a shout out to the barbershop. You know, the barbershop, right. A lot of conversation go down.
I'm at Unfadable Masters, so shouts out to Haywood Burns, shouts out to Reese, shouts out to the crew. I've been with my barber now, man, for Kyle is 25, 27. We go back almost 25 years.
Wow.
The barbershop is where I go. Yeah, that's where I go to be normal. I just go to the barbershop, man. I love the conversation and the camaraderie. People know I'm a pastor, but we don't have to have quote unquote church religious talk. And so I appreciate that.
In the barbershop, you're gonna get it all. You're gonna get the truth.
Get it all, man. That's it, man. Don't treat me different. My favorite basketball player is Magic. We gonna debate. My favorite running back all time is Tony Dorsett. It is what it is. So
Tony Dorsett,
I'm ready to
man, he had a style, and it was pretty.
That's it. That's my all-time favorite football player. It's Tony Dorsett.
So let me ask you this real quick.
Come on.
Football.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pick two cornerbacks and two safeties of all time.
Corners.
Yes.
Give me Dion for sure.
Okay.
And Darryl Green.
All right.
My safeties, I need Ronnie Lott and I'm gonna take another hitter that people don't get. Give me Ronnie Lott in that water. I'm good.
Okay. I got the same ones you got, except I don't got Atwater, and I got my man Taylor,
Taylor, Sean Taylor, the late
Sean
yes.
Taylor, the great, the late
That's
Sean
right.
Taylor.
Yeah, that's right.
But we
That's a
got the
great
same
pick.
guys. I got Darrell Green, yeah. I
Yeah,
got Dion,
yeah,
and I got Ronnie Lott,
yeah.
but I got the great Sean Taylor.
I forgot about Sean Taylor. Shouts out, rest in peace. He may have been the hardest hitter out of all of them.
Oh man, absolutely. So those are the
Yeah.
barbershop talks, y'all. That's how we talk in the barbershop.
That's how we talk in the barbershop. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and people don't really talk. They talk politics in the barbershop quite often.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
how's the president doing for the United States right now?
Keeping us on our toes and watch this. When it's all said and done, we're gonna thank him because it's gonna be through his administration that's forced us to come together and do for ourselves. It's gonna be through his administration where we had to have some real talks to prepare people for the next election. And so we're gonna look back on this time and we're gonna say we hated it, but we needed it.
So your way of helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hear you help some people that you could give some great information to right now that's not doing so well in their life. What can you tell
Mm-hmm.
them right now positive that could kind of steer them in the right direction? Because I know you've been there. I know you've been around that
Mm-hmm.
energy. So you
Mm-hmm.
you speak and you speak to people and you do want to help and it's sincerely, truly from your heart. What is it
Yeah.
that you could say to somebody right now to heal or to help their situation?
Yeah, I want them to number one. If you are listening today, I want you to embrace your reality. I want you to really take it to heart where you are. I want you to go to bed tonight believing that tomorrow you're going to take that first step in the right direction. I want you to wake up tomorrow, put on the best that you can, and I want you to go seek your next opportunity. I want you to knock on doors until you get tired of knocking. I want you to kick pride in the behind and not let pride ride shotgun. And I want you to walk up to as many people as you can and introduce yourself. And when you introduce yourself, I don't want you to just ask people um, how you may normally ask for a job, but I want you to ask somebody tomorrow, when can I start? Can I start today? I'm believing in you. I'm trusting that it's going to get better. And I want you to hear this from me. It wasn't that long ago when I was breaking into parked cars at Arizona Charlie's. It wasn't that long ago when I was sitting in the back of a police car, hoping that they would say, we're going to let you go. And so here I am, fast forward later, I had to do what I just told you to do. I had to take a look in the mirror and embrace who I was at that time. I had to go to bed telling myself, I'm going to get up the next day, put some clothes on, and I'm going to walk the entire strip, casino by casino, knocking on doors until somebody hired me. And so from me to you, don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
That's it.
I'm glad to have you on my show, Kelsey West, man. This is like, it's big. It's huge for me. It's like having Shaq on my
Love
show.
you, brother. Oh man, love you, brother.
No,
I
serious,
want to share
man.
something. I want to share this with you. I want to say thank you for the timing of your show today. I want the people to know we haven't broken bread. We haven't had barbershop talk, but today you were a shoulder for me. I was having a stressful day, and you gave me a moment to vent. And I just want you to know I appreciated that. I needed that. I needed somebody strong enough just for me to release what I was dealing with. So thank you,
Man, that's what we're here
thank
for.
you.
And
Yeah.
anytime my line is open, one, two,
Yes,
three,
sir.
4, 5, around the clock, 12 hours,
Yeah.
24 hours. My homeboy KT, the great, always say 24/8.
That's right. That's right. I appreciate you. You castled today with me. I appreciate that.
Right on, right on. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in, came and watched the live show. And make sure y'all check out Vegas Gates tomorrow. And make sure y'all stop in the barbershops, get some of that good feed. You know, that's fruit when you go into the barbershop. And definitely
right.
we'll see y'all again next week. And if my man, Mr. West, if he have
Yes,
anything
sir.
he wants to say, go ahead and let him have it before we get out of here.
Las Vegas, keep supporting my brother, Mr. Elliott. Keep supporting everything that he has his hands on. Stay tuned because he has some great things in the making. Keep supporting Las Vegas. We are one of the greatest cities, if not the greatest city in the United States. So let's keep being positive. Let's keep supporting each other. And remember, my people, receipts matter.